What is up, everybody? How we doing today? My name is Joe, aka Cool Runnings. I use he, him pronouns, and welcome to the Monday stream, Maruski. We're pulling in the gym. Hello. Welcome in, Lou. Wada. Hello, Alada Wada. Hello. Hello. Awkward phrasing. DD Agent. Welcome in. Have a good lurk. Hello, Siley. Hello, Jay Corsair. Hello, Rebar Chris. Hi. How we doing? Welcome in, folks. Thanks for being here. Right off the gun. A pre-roll means many things. But it also means ads that run before you get to see a Twitch stream. So that's a short answer. Welcome in, Rebar, and welcome back. How we doing? How we doing? I am so ready to just. I'm so ready to lift today. The morning has been so busy, and I'm so ready. A lot of water. Bottle of water. Bottle of water. I'm sorry. No one wants to hear me do that. No one wants to hear me make fun of heavy English accents in just like a really like terrible way. Not like not like cancelable terrible. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna change this box to say week one, day 2. That's what it is. Day 2. There you go. Wow. Well, I mean, like you can. I mean, I guess like if there was a week that I was gonna do it, the week before the 4th of July is probably the best one to do it. You know, like this is definitely the victory lap for the whole like independence thing. As much as we need to continue talking about like why we should just be careful about how we celebrate it. You know, it is America Day soon. That's right. Radiant Overalls, welcome in. How you doing? So I get Thursday off, and then I'm taking Friday off. So I get the holiday on Thursday, and just we kind of came to a mutual agreement that nobody's going to be working on Friday in our office, and so we're all taking time off. But one of those privileges from oppression, sure, sure, yeah. There you go, Lou. That's yeah, definitely. Keep your fingers safe. You know, I did enjoy, although it made me sad, but I did enjoy seeing the thing the other day that was like it was last Saturday. It's like, yeah, someone in the US right now doesn't know that this is their last weekend with all of their fingers. Yeah. Everyone, please be careful if you're using fireworks. I don't really do fireworks anymore. I loved it when I was a kid, and now I'm just not about it. I just can't. I can't do it anymore. Welcome in, Bell. Thank you for the biddies. Doing good. Just back from the gym. What'd you hit today, Radiant? What'd you get into? Every cloud. Yeah. Like old Lou shakes fist at cloud. How I have to explain it to be said, especially to Canadians. Yeah, it's. I don't. It's if I am like on it, Awada, I can definitely. There's a Midwest dialect that is just like very slurred, and it's not just me. Like it is kind of like I have it bad sometimes. That is not. I do not enunciate as much as I probably should, but there are days. There is a widespread Midwest aversion to fully pronouncing things. So Alata Awata, when like normally if I'm just reading it quickly it'd be Alata Awata, right? There you go. There you go. If it didn't go off, don't check on it. Check on it with a golf club. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Full body masochism with kettlebells. Hell yeah. Hey, let's talk about what we're going to do today. Let's get into that business. What is up, everyone? Welcome to today's workout preview. We're going to talk about what we're going to do, why we're doing it. Quick little breakdown before we get into the workout itself. Just as a quick like catch up on the week, yesterday was the first day. So Sunday is the first day of our training split. And on Sundays, we do our long run followed by a push day workout that ends up being like a little bit reduced because we're not getting a lot of recovery in between. So yesterday was a very, very intense day as far as workouts are concerned. And so today, I've had 24 full hours of rest between my workouts. So coming into today, we should be like feeling pretty fresh for the most part. as far as most of these workouts are concerned. We're going to do a pull day that's focused on upper body. We'll do some warm-ups with scat push-ups just to get the serratus anterior and the subscapular muscles all warmed up and ready to go for some pulling. We'll do some elevated barbell rows, and I have 135 as like a question mark because we got up to some pretty high volumes with a little bit lower weight. So I'm going to test out 135 and we may drop it back. We'll do some lat pull downs at 150, which has been pretty consistent for us. I'm going to try to start increasing that next week, depending on how this set goes. We'll do some low cable rows, some maybe a drop set with those low cable rows if I'm feeling like the lower back is feeling good, not too fatigued. We'll do some upright rows and hammer curls to close things out. As far as the arm movements are concerned, the pull movements are concerned. We'll do some abs, and then if we have some time, we'll do some posing near the end of stream just to stay in practice on it. Because right now, like, still feeling pretty good. Like most of my post-show recovery has been completed, so to speak, and we're getting into real training time. I've had to do a lot of rolling, a lot of lacrosse balling on some deeper muscle tissues. And we're going to keep on going with that recovery work. Hopefully we don't have to adjust down our volume too much. But that's the deal for today. So if you have questions about anything, go ahead and ask in the comments down below, or ask in Twitch chat if you're catching this on Twitch. Or if neither of those suits your fancy, hit me up on Discord, hit me up in the DMs. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And with that, let's just do it. Let's do the thing. Let's do it. But first, I'm going to sip some Used to be just a Wata that threw a lot of people off because I'm Midwestern. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it does sound like it sounds more Japanese than Canadian, but like I know that is a Canadian thing, right? Like isn't that like a French Canadian word or name? Had a friend called Lefty due to 4th of July. That is a terrifying story. There is a terrifying story hidden in there somewhere. Oh, sorry, it's A-okay. That's A-okay. Yesterday was a lot of fun. I went, as soon as I got off of stream, I pulled up my Steam Deck, and I installed Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Steam Deck. And I am looking forward to spending a decent amount of time getting on ye old Steam Deck and roaming through the Wild West. Even though I know I probably would enjoy it more if I did it on a big fancy 4K screen. It's fine. However you get there, right? But me and Arthur Morgan, we got some time to spend together. And if things go the way that they should go, Ottawa is the capital of Canada due to my Midwestern people. Yes. Yeah, no, that's like I'm familiar with Ottawa. I have been there. Ooh. Ooh! Oh, we're still a little sore. Oh, hello. Who goes there? Well, howdy there, Dan. Howdy. Wait, Awada, you were is that Knights of the Old Republic? Good morning. No one. Hi. Mumarmna. What up, Dan? Dan, thank you so much for that tier 1 resub. We're going to do the lunges first. Lunges with rotations. Get that thoracic movement going. Woof. Oh, my quads are tight. Maybe we'll do some rolling today. Oh. Just the Old Republic, the MMO. Ah, yes. See, I never got into Old Republic. I think I started playing it at one point. Actually, you know what? I did. I got into like I got like 10 hours into it. And then I dropped off, but I don't know why. Orcam Draconic. Yeah, the Coda remake is coming out. Which it's pretty bananas that they've announced Star Wars Outlaws, which if you haven't watched the trailer for that yet, or like the gameplay overviews for that yet, like please do yourself a favor and do that. Oh, it looks so good. That they're releasing Outlaws and that remaster. Like they're going to be very different games, obviously, because one is, you know, BioWare style, and then the other one is very like open world. I don't even know how you would compare it. Whew. Also, welcome in, Zach. Good to see you, brah. Oh. How was the rest of your lift? Things got political in Zachbot's realm today. Good to see you, Draconic. It so if you never played it, you know, for me, I think it went over my head when I tried to play it when I was younger. Just because like I really wasn't good at anything even vaguely tactical. There was this period where the only video game experience that I wanted was something like Fable. I just wanted to play Fable reskinned in different ways and got increasingly frustrated when like a certain series didn't just like cater to my whims in that regard. Oh man. Oh, that feels great. Fable was so good. The new Fable, I hope it is good. I really do hope it's good. There's a chance. There's a chance. Different kind of gamer back then. Now I can appreciate it, but need it in new age graphics. Is that like too distracting for you, Zach? Like, are you unable to like really enjoy a gaming experience if it's kind of retroed up? Fable 2 got me into RPGs because it gave you a dog. Yeah. Fable 1 got me into RPGs because like, you know, obviously like it did get more difficult as the game went on where you couldn't just swing a sword around all willy-nilly and get what you needed. But I loved the system. It was just so simple. And there were so many good weapons. And then all the magic, like it was exactly what I needed. And the thing that got me the closest to it was I think it was called Jade Empire. And I just chased that high. Ugh. For months. Jade Empire was sick. Oh, Cinnabon Sean, welcome in. How you doing? Oh, yes. Kingdoms of Amalur was another one. I sunk a lot of hours into that game, but I never beat it because it hit a point where it got like really... It was really good at the start, and then I feel like it got kind of boring. Nostalgia doesn't outweigh the capabilities of games today. Taking a car on a road trip, taking a horse buggy. While I do see where that comes from, it's a little bit of an imperfect comparison. You know, I was gonna try to do unstable scat push-ups, but I think that's gonna burn me out more than anything. So we'll just put the ball to the side. Ah, yes, Mass Effect. I stopped after Mass Effect 2. I heard a lot of people getting really mad about Mass Effect 3. Here, let's do this instead. We're gonna do some scat push-ups. We'll start with just the scat. So just protracting and then retracting with the shoulder blades. Ooh. Okay. We'll do another set of those. We'll set up the bar though. How much hate humans openly got, but it was outright saving everyone. Okay, so like that's like half the point of Mass Effect, though. Like half of the point of that of that series is like how there's this like weird there is this weird earn your place approach that like futuristic societies take in media. Evie, come here. I wasn't ignoring you. I'm sorry. I noticed you. I saw you. 4 complete playthroughs? Bro. Bro. Well, because there is more Mass Effect coming out, right? Like it's on its way. Doesn't list a game I have already played and love playing, like Prototype, super outdated game. Yeah, Prototype or one that I could potentially try to revisit, and I'm saying this, but I don't know that I could, is I think it was called Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction or something like that. And it was a surprisingly good Incredible Hulk game, but it was basically the same as Prototype. It was very similar to Prototype in the sense that you were just like running around being a destructive force of nature in like 100 different ways. Oh, there we go. Getting everything all toasty warm. Ready to start moving some weight. Let's go. Throw a 95 on the bar. I just realized that I've been standing on my bumper plates to do these. And I'm going to need to continue doing that unless I stand on something else. That's the height that I was working with. And I was going to put bumpers on today. So we'll just have to put goofy little stand-ins on top of here. We'll figure it out. Hey, can you stop rolling off the mat, please? Remember to sing to your weights. Please, my lord, stay put for one day more. Greeny, welcome in, my dude. Some of the characters, especially in the Council of the Citadel. Oh, we're talking Mass Effect, okay. Want to see what happens. We'll see what happens once Dragon Age is out. How do y'all feel about the new Dragon Age? I think it looks interesting. I worry that it's going to be kind of like Inquisition, where it gets played up to be very different, but then you play the game and it's basically exactly the same as the old Dragon Age games. I don't know. System Shock games are on the Steam sale. Ooh. System Shock has always been on my list. Also, good morning. Hello, Remad. Welcome in. System Shock I've always been very interested about because I loved BioShock. And allegedly they exist in the same universe. Been curious. Yeah, if you didn't like Inquisition, I have a feeling the new Dragon Age is not going to be like worlds different. But I could be wrong. It could be good. It could be so good. I actually hope it's more like old games, because boy, did the trailer make me feel uneasy. Well, someone was dishing on it the other day on one of the podcasts I was listening to, that they're like, every game studio is making God of War games. It's like that there's this big cultural delay where like in 1 year we're gonna start seeing a bunch of like Baldur's Gate-esque video games pop up, but now we're seeing a bunch of stuff coming off of the Ragnarok wave of everyone really enjoying like over the shoulder third person stuff again. Development cycles are wild. Good. We'll do 115 before we jump up to 135. So 95 plus 20 is what we need. Do you wear wigs? Ben, do you wear wigs? Sorry, it's will you wear wigs? Ben, will you wear wigs? Whew. Fucking Bioshock now. Let's go. Let's go. Booker, catch. Come on. Booker, catch. Is anyone still playing Nightingale? I haven't touched it. That was one of the things that just like dropped out when I started prep. I don't know why. Because I was really liking Nightingale. I should pick it up again. I should call Nightingale. Wish Forspoken did better on that style. Concept was there, but apparently the storytelling was boring and repetitive. Forspoken, like, I heard a lot of complaints about. I won't go into them. Yeah, I think right now I'm gonna be kind of on this cycle off stream of playing Outer Worlds and of revisiting Outer Worlds because I'm loving it, and also digging back into Red Dead Redemption. I jumped back into Cult of the Lamb because I thought I could get a new playthrough going and get caught up in order to, and like in time to do the DLC before anything else dropped. Didn't happen. I'm distracted already. It's been 2 weeks. The 2-week rule is applying. What up, C-Dub? How you doing? I have been remiss with my shouts. Let me give a little. Whoa. There we go. There we go. Oh, Moon! Hello! How you doing, Moon? Welcome in. Is Outer Worlds the Alien guy, the older school game? So Outer Worlds, so there's Outer Worlds and then there's Outer Wilds that came out like almost at the same time. Outer Wilds is a space exploration game where you're trying to solve a mystery about a universe. And it's one of my favorite games of all time. That's Outer Wilds. Outer Worlds. What should I do? I need to make a decision. The 120, that was 115. Wait a minute. Oh. Interesting. Welcome back, everyone. Interesting. We all back? Okay. The Outer Worlds explanation lagged. Okay, welcome back, everyone. What was the last thing you heard? Acro, thank you so much. Thank you so stinking much for the resub. Only gone for less than a minute. Okay. Yeah. So Outer Wilds, we explained. Outer Worlds is it's like a space capitalism Fallout New Vegas. Written by the people who worked on New Vegas. And the crafting system is, no, there's not really a crafting system. The exploration is good, the dialogue is good, the characters are great, the like vibe is good, the gunplay is good. It's so good. Outer Worlds is fantastic. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. C-Dub, welcome back. Yeah, Remad. They beefed up Nightingale. They really gave people exactly what they wanted. So there is, for me, like I really should go back to it because it's a lot easier to play now. Wait, you grabbed a Squeen? Oh, I can't go straight to Elden Ring. Damn. So C-Dub, you were asking about my training runs. What did you want to know? Not chat. I'm checking right now. Is that what it froze on? Ridiculous. Dan wants this to be an emote, but I don't know. He wants it to be an emote, but what even? What emotion does that elicit? That's what I want to know. Okay. Alright. Now we're in ads. Friesen. Then Adlands. Riz. I don't feel like that's super Rizzy. Smoochy? I could do better smooching. Moon, your AC got fixed? Moon, that's great. You can breathe. I mean, like, you can breathe without conditioned air, but in the heat wave, that's good ass news. That's some real good news. All right. AC died on Friday, entire weekend of suffering. I feel like that is just like always coming for anyone at any given point. Do I want to go heavier? I do want to go heavier, but I think I'm going to hold off one more week before I do that. So I'll throw on 5 pounds, but I won't throw on 135. Because 125 is charted territory for us. So I will do that. Because we're still, one could say 3 weeks clear that we're not any longer in recovery mode, but I'm also starting PT next week for my glute. And eventually going to try to get that fixed up and worked back in. Ugh. All right. Are we all back from ads? Beauty. You want to keep your attitude or your kneecaps? Excuse me. Yeah, 103 is... hey, welcome to climate change, everybody. Man, I should stop saying that. Everyone knows, right? Like, we all know. I'm not saying anything earth-shattering. We all know it's real, right? Ah! Ah! 12. I could have done 3 more. Whew. Thank you for front loading with satire. What up, Tinker? Climate change ain't real. It's just El Nino. Mercury is just in retrograde. And it's been in retrograde, progressively more retrograde for many, many years. And humans definitely don't have an impact on it. Absolutely not. Why can't it be global cooling? You know? Ooh. That could be the start of a new segment. Satire all the time. It gets me. No. I appreciate it. I appreciate it because listen, like I try not to assume. However, if you are genuinely someone for whom you are not convinced on climate change, I don't know that I'm fully equipped for the conversation today. But I just want to make sure you know that anthropomorphic climate change is a very real thing. In my opinion, and in the facts that I have taken in over the years. Good afternoon, Tabs. Welcome in, Tabs. Yeah. So, like, if you're in a place in your understanding where you do not fully believe that it is a real thing caused by human beings, I'm going to come at that with compassion and, like, seek to understand first, right? And I think that there is a lot of evidence. I also think that it is it's the high school weatherman. Trust me on this. It's just like listen. It's like listen. If you solely think about like the smallest, most think about if you just take like a house, right? Like if you go to like any part of like wilderness and you were to just like drop a house and like a standard size human family into that house, just like they would have some impact on their environment, right? Like there is no there's no reality in which there is absolutely zero impact on that environment. And like just in the most general logic sense, if you just apply that to billions of people creating just tons and tons of waste in alternative however many forms. Anyway, welcome to the hour where Joe tries to make the argument that climate change is real. Ugh. But doesn't do a great job of articulating why. And thus comes off just as position-based and unreasonable as anyone else. I'll say firsthand without all the data, things are hotter all the time now than in the past. Oh, God. Macho Man will know. Next, you'll tell me the Earth isn't flat. Listen. I'll tell you that the Earth isn't flat.
And Greenie1 asked me, is climate change real? Climate change? Ooh, yeah, brother. Let me tell you something about climate change. The planet is heating up faster than a speeding bullet, and Mother Nature is feeling the heat. Dig it. We gotta take care of our Earth, brother, and make sure we're not messing up the ecosystem, because when the climate changes, nobody wins. Oh, yeah.
Not a fully satisfying answer, but it is an answer. It is an answer. You did 14 auditions today, Tabs? Hot damn. That's some work. Thank you, Macho Man. It'll do. It'll do. Thank you, Mr. Macho Man Randy Savage. You are saving America. I'm not reading that out loud. Welcome in, Duck. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the scariest things to me is the slower impact of it, right? Because you have And like to get, I guess, a little bit more real about it, like you have the very like obvious and direct human health hazard impacts of climate change that are like, it's really hot, and in certain areas it gets so hot that people are just straight up dying of heat stroke and dehydration, right? Vulnerable people are dying because of climate change, right? Like there's that piece, and then there's the slow death of, if you look at the research on like climate zones and how they've like, moderate climate zones have crept upward and have made it more or less impossible for certain species to survive and or thrive in certain areas, and you're seeing like biomes just kind of creep up and out of where they were before, and like how that impacts food, how that impacts food systems, how that impacts animals and like their own little ecosystems. Like that's the shit that's really scary, is those really slow incremental changes that are basically going to turn our food system to just like nothing after a certain period of time. That's what messes with me. That's bananas. But that's the stuff that's like hardest for people to see, you know? Evie, come on, girly. All right, my last set of these. These are feeling good. Let's keep them that way. Stop. Wait. Oh, girly. That's so good. That's so good that you stopped there. So you didn't get bonked in the noggin. That's right. That's right. Such a smart girl. Everyone say hi to Evie. Please. You want a treat? Want a treat, baby girl? I just want to look good in tight pants. Good girl. Okay. Welcome in, Natty. And welcome in, Omet. Howdy, howdy. Are you just going to leave that treat there? I'm not giving you anything else. You're going to get what you get, girly. There you go. That's a good girl. I mean to like threaten her with treats, but like, let's be real. I think she's getting a little tired of the crunchy treats. I'll have to change the game up a little bit for her. This is going to take a while to set up. I'm going to set up for lat pull downs. Whew. Dan, how are you feeling today following your following the weekend? Following the MRI? How you doing, buddy? If I could get Moon or another available mod that has snuck in here to give a shout out to Run Dan Run. Dan hosted me on his podcast talk show on Friday. We talked about life, running, and many adjacent things. That episode will be available soon, I'm sure. Dan will tell you where you can find it. That's right, Lou can do it. It's out on YouTube, Spotify, etc. Dan, drop links. I will ask that you please drop links so people can listen to it if they want. If you're checking out podcasts, YouTubes of this stuff, please make sure you like the podcast. Rate it 5 stars. It really helps for stuff like pods. You see what Macrofactor tried to do to me today? What did it do, Lou? If it pushed your numbers down further, I'm going to be further validated in the fact that I've been telling someone to just ignore their Macrofactor recommendations for a certain... Yeah, big fuck that. Big fuck that. Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. Today's mid-workout nutrition is fruit by the foot. Shout out to Anesthesia. Big fuck that. Yes. Ooh. Snag it up on Spotify. Sick. Thank you, Dan. Welcome in, Byron, and I'm glad you're switching shifts. Yeah, Lou, I mean, sorry, not like big F that to just be really removed. I just like, yeah. I think in that situation, like I would never ever tell anyone, and this is like removed from someone who is preparing for like a bikini bodybuilding competition, or like someone who is very small. I would never tell people to go below 1500. And that's just like a personal thing, but get more snacks and figure out more snacks. What do you need, Natty? Like, what's missing? Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Jay, that's a good strategy. Yeah. And Remat, I had a similar thing happen during prep. I kept pushing mine up, and I wasn't seeing changes. So, I mean, we have to understand that macro factor is just like, it's an algorithm, right? It's going to be imperfect sometimes. They're updating it. But, ooh, that sounds good, Byron. Yeah. Yeah. I think so, Lou, they did just update it recently. Dude, I don't know. If you lost more than 1%, just like you know how much that muscle maintenance, how much that muscle retention matters as well as anyone. Like can you run 2000 for a week and see what happens? Cuz 2000 is still really small for you. Mhm. Have no variety besides protein crisps, PB pretzels, all crunchy savory. I mean, are you doing any protein bars, Natty? I don't like telling people to overly rely on protein bars because they tend to have a lot of saturated fat and can be like real sneaky with the calories. But if you're not trying any protein bars, it might be good to give those a go. Mm-hmm. Pardon my snack time. I'm gonna say that was 2 or 1. Fairly certain I could do 2250 and still maintain this relative weight loss. So yeah, Lou, I think last week was a fun experiment for you, but if the shoe were on the other foot, and I think you know this, I think if you search deep within your heart, you know this. If the shoe were on the other foot and you were telling me what I should do in this situation, it is my belief that you would 100% say, you will lose too much muscle and it's not worth the weight loss. You know? Like, I worry about that for you, genuinely. Oh, thank you, Sarly. Crybaby Crook, welcome in. Okay, so I have not tried the Built Puff Bars. Natty, if you are looking for protein bar recommendations, or if you're willing to try some protein bars as part of your program, I got Rex. I have tried very many protein bars over the last couple of years. I've got, and you know what? We didn't even do the Wellness Minute. Maybe we'll do the Wellness Minute on protein bars. Zach, are you still here? We'll get you in on this, big guy. Please. Josh, welcome in.
The Oreo grenade bar. I've not tried that one. I've not tried that one. We can yeah, let's do a wellness minute about protein bars. I think that'll be good. Because the other thing I worked in did I go get samples? No. That's too much work. That's too much work. We'll just talk about them. All right. What is up, everybody? How we doing today? My name is Joe, aka Cool Runnings, and welcome to today's Wellness Minute. Today's Wellness Minute is protein bars and how to use them and be mindful of them. This could probably go for longer than a minute, but I'm going to try to keep it short. If you are considering supplementing your protein intake, or you are looking for snacks that support a higher protein intake goal, you can consider something like a protein bar. Now, you've probably seen a variety of protein bars at like large stores, small stores. You've probably seen the really basic, like if you're in the UK, you've probably seen the Snickers high protein stuff, like MedRx bars, clean protein bars. Like there is a dizzying amount of options out there. But when you're looking for some, consider these things, right? Consider trying to buy smaller quantities of a bar at first to see if you like it. So there are some websites, some protein bars that offer like variety packs. If you know that you like a certain brand, then try getting the variety pack. Even though it's going to be more expensive, it could keep you from buying a bunch of stuff that you hate. And usually you can save a little bit of money just by like buying like a 4-pack rather than a 1. Oh man, there's so much to talk about here. Anyway, when finding protein bars, be mindful of the macros. Just because something has a lot of protein doesn't mean that it'll fit super well into your day. Or just because something says protein on the label doesn't mean that it actually has a high amount of protein in relation to the other macros that it has in the bar. So some protein bars will be like 240 calories to 280 calories, even higher, and they'll have like tons and tons of saturated fat or tons and tons of fats, which, like, if you're keto, that might work for you. But if you're just on a regular standard diet where you're trying to maintain a calorie deficit, you could be putting, at sometimes, depending on what you're working with, like a quarter of your total daily fat intake into one protein bar if you're not careful. So consider all the macros in a protein bar. I think that a really good rule of thumb is if it's anywhere close to 20 grams of protein and below 200 grams, or sorry, anywhere close to 20 grams of protein and below 200 calories, that's a pretty good split for a protein bar. So there are a lot of different things, a lot of different pieces you can consider with what your current nutritional goals are, but don't overly rely on protein bars because, as mentioned, they can be very, very calorie dense. And if you're having 2 to 3 of them a day, potentially not tracking them, or potentially not getting other whole foods in your diet that you could be because you're relying on protein bars, you could be running into just some unintentional weight gain or unintentional overindulging on certain compounds. So I'm gonna leave it there. Today's Wellness Minute is consider using protein bars as a tool. Consider using them on the go, but don't overly rely on them as part of your nutrition strategy. Consider it as like part of your rotation. Ooh-wee. That was kind of bad, but it's okay. Anyway, Oreo bar took over here for months. They're like Prime drinks when they first dropped. Couldn't keep them on the shelves. Well, now Prime drinks are just like sitting around everywhere. You can't walk into a store without seeing a giant rack of Prime drinks. Okay, so I will now share some of my faves, protein bar wise. Because one of the things that I look for in a protein bar is fiber. So, Quest has a lot of options for protein bars. And honestly, where at first they maybe were kind of mid sometimes, the Quest bars have gotten a lot better. There is an Oreo Crunchy Quest bar that is 150 cals and is 150 cals, and I think is either 19 or 20 grams of protein, which is amazing, frankly. In my humble opinion, that's pretty damn good. That's one of my faves. Costco sells Clean brand, I think is the name. Make sure I can actually get underneath this. Yes, we're good. It'll feel a little funny, and I'll move it if I have to. Yeah? Yeah. This is always a weird setup, but it's worth it, so I can do lat pull downs. Hello, E-boy. So I don't write down my wellness minutes anywhere. I just keep them here on stream. I have been reposting them, but I'm a little bit behind. Got a Prime with me while doing my hour cardio. You get them for free? Greenie, that's sick. Welcome in, Lightbringer. That's a long walk. Something in the Quest products give me bad gas, I avoid them. So, sugar alcohols are a thing that some people avoid when looking at low carb products. Oh yeah, I remember why I can't go that low now. Damn it. Why am I like this? Okay, let's try again. I always forget that there's a reason that I keep it at this height. It's because where the other pegs are, I can't actually put the weights on the bar to keep my legs down. But now we can. Now we're Gucci. Oh, welcome in, Cook. Quest bars, Clean protein bars. I like the Clean ones. They don't have as much protein, but they do have a lot of fiber. This is a warm-up set. Excuse me. I'm gonna finish setting this up and then I'll resume the discussion. I tell you what, I'm losing the daggone plot right now. That's why pull-ups are just so much easier. But if I didn't program these and do them at home, we wouldn't be doing them. And we need to do them. They're great for building ye old back. Then we need to put 20 pounds on either side. I think it's time to ditch the sweatpants. And fives. Make sure I got my math right. 20, 20, 55. Right? Hold on. 110, 140, 150. Perfect. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I haven't tried the Built Bars. Welcome in. Lurk? I'll call you Lurk, unless you want to be called something else. Took a new way thinking it would be faster. Yo, Lightbringer, you got to open up Google Maps. Get yourself on track. Welcome in. Man, why am I forgetting all the protein bars that I buy? The other one that I've liked is the, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go get some of them. I don't even care that this is like free advertising for these brands. Because they're all just like, they're all just sitting here. So like, why not just grab some, you know? All right. These are the ones that I have sitting in the kitchen. I keep like a back stock. So I don't take up our kitchen, our tiny ass kitchen with all this stuff. All right. We'll go over these as soon as I finish this first set. I got a bunch of junk sitting here right now. Welcome in, Pip. Welcome back. All right. Lat pull downs. Let's get juicy. Juicy lat pull down time. I would love to eat right now. I've been so hungry. I get ravenous after those long run and lift days. Yeah, 11. That's good. That's good. A little further from failure than maybe I should be, but we're going to start there. That's great. He's levitating! Goosing at the bike rides this week. You'll get so hungry. Welcome in, okayest. All right. So, protein bars. So I got a couple bars here that are pretty decent. One of them, I'll just start with the one that I guess I'm the most mid on. So these Irvine Fit Crunch bars, they're delicious. They're not the best macros, but they're pretty tasty. Mid on expensive. I would not buy a ton of these because at this point I'm just trying to find where I can fit them into my day to get rid of them. But they're pretty good. So the Robert Irvine Fit Crunch bars, not bad. These are the clean brand that I was talking about. I guess Ready is the brand. You can get these at Costco, and the big one with these is the fiber. So Jay Corsair was also saying that Quest bars have pretty good fiber, especially the keto ones, because they're trying to keep their net carbs down. So they put in like fibrous carbohydrates. So this one is pretty filling, I will say. Higher fiber is going to mean more filling for you. If it's got high protein, high fiber, it's going to be a pretty filling bar. So that's why I like these so much, is because they actually do fill me up. Next one is going to be the, what is the name of this brand? True Bar. So these are like definitely bars that I think most of their advertising is like drawn towards, at least the vibe that I've gotten is that they keep their advertising like kind of feminine, but they are a plant-based bar. Yeah, cashews, chocolate, pea protein, cassava, and they are dairy-free, soy-free, no sugar alcohols. They have high fiber. I want to say it's like they're a little lower on protein, but these have, yeah, 12 grams of fiber in a single bar, which is damn good. And honestly, this flavor, the cookie flavor, where is it? There we go. The cookie dough flavor, pretty tasty. Thank you, Dan, for the shout for Anna. Welcome in, Anna. It's not Luna. It's called True Bar. They are like candy, and they're really tasty. The fats are a little bit high, but if you're getting a lot of fiber from it, you're getting some pretty good carbs. So I'm not too concerned. They're all right, but only kinda. Gritty Rice Krispies, yeah, that's definitely part of the feel. Okay, two more plugs. These legendary Pop-Tarts. Someone gave me one for the first time at TwitchCon, and the cinnamon flavor is amazing. It's really good. It's like the brown sugar cinnamon. These are supposed to be Pop-Tarts. They can't call them Pop-Tarts because I think they would get sued. So they call them like protein pastries. But Legendary makes really good chips too. But Quest chips are the other one. So Quest and Legendary brand chips are really good. Again, like the fats are high in these. Like that's the trade-off that you get when you have something that's like low calorie and higher protein, is typically that the fats are going to be a little bit higher. So that's like why in the Wellness Minute I talked about just being kind of strategic around where you put those in your day. Top parts. The legendary chips are really good because you get so many chips in a bag. Like they're very thin, airy chips, but you get a shit ton of them. You can make a decent plate of nachos out of those. And then the last one is Bear Bells. I don't have any on me right now. But Bear Bells protein bars are by far like one of my favorites in terms of texture and everything. They're so good. Cost me so much money telling me about those brown sugar cinnamon ones. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'll be there soon, Gaston. Oh, thank you, Anna. I'm doing okay today. Take it a little slow. Run a little behind. We got a late start, so it's like whatever. But yeah, so Natty, it's I would say it's less about like planning super specifically what your snacks are and just like not having the protein bar be the like end all every time, right? Like have some days where you're like, you're going to be working through some meetings. You have a little time in the morning. You're like, okay, I'm going to set out, like a handful of pretzels or like put them in a little container so that when my brain goes to the mode of hungry, it doesn't have to do this big calculation, right? Like the more you can do, because your brain will betray you when you are trying to be on a specific diet. Like that is a truth for a lot of people, is that the moment you try to overwrite your urges, the part of you that is logical and sensical is often going to fall victim to the part of you that just wants stuff. Nope. 13. We stop. 13. We got one more set of these. We'll make it good. It complements your hair color. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Well, Natty, when was the last time you had ice cream? And if you'd rather not have this conversation publicly, it's okay. But I really think this is an important thing to talk through if you're open to it. I feel like we should get this whole week off. Going out of business. Blowout sale for America. Nah. I just don't. Oh, man. I'm really glad we get the day off. And, I don't know. If we're going to get a week off for any holiday, I don't think it's this one. Had ice cream this week. Fed into Tiny Temptations. Good. That's the thing. Do not do that to yourself. How do I put this? How do I articulate this? I have to pee, but I'm going to try to articulate this before I go. If you force yourself to have absolutely zero indulgences during a long weight loss period, you will have a much higher chance of snapping back and binging on foods afterwards that will have a much higher chance of undoing your progress, right? It's like you're like ultimately, if you are doing resistance training and cardio and you're losing weight, if you gain a little bit after you hit whatever your goal is, that's fine, right? Because you haven't lost time. You haven't lost all your progress because you've still built up like muscle, built up strength, you built up cardiovascular adaptations. But if your goal is to like keep it at that level, you have to allow yourself to have smaller indulgences from time to time. Yeah, so the Yasso bars, are a good cheat. I was eating Yasso bars virtually every day on my bodybuilding prep because they're cheap, they're delicious. There's a lot of flavors, so you get good variety. They max out at like 150 calories. Yas. Yeah, I'm a shill for Yasso bars. Should do a week off around now, so we have a decent break every 6 months. I would agree with that. The thing is that like, at least in my job, you get no days off between January 1st and Memorial Day. It's like there's a 5-month stretch of just no holidays that we get time off for. So summer almost becomes like a binge, you know, where people start taking just a ton of time off and everything gets super stressful. In order to be successful in suppressing your cravings, you should also add the financial guilt into the mix. Well, we can talk about that in a second, actually, because I think that's a good thought. Okay, I will be right back. Whew. Wow, I did not know how bad I had to go. Yeah, I feel like someone's probably tried to maintain a database for protein snacks, you know, but more often you'll just see like a YouTuber doing a review here and there.
I know what a JPEG is. I just
well,
want
holy
a
shit.
of a goddamn hot dog. Hot dog.
Raiders!
If I look like I know what a JPEG is, I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Raiders, what's up? Can we get one more? Half a one, maybe. Ah. Sheesh! Who's raiding? Who's here? Is that Nancy? Is that Nancy? How we doing? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in, Raiders. Howdy. My name is Joe. Go by Cool Runnings here on Twitch. I use he, him pronouns. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, we lift weights. Tuesdays, Sundays, we play video games. All the time. Inclusive community. All about getting moving in the ways that work for you. Welcome in, Fit Foodie Cutie. Here we go. Thank you for the shout. You know, I'm doing okay. So we're not doing we're not doing a partner push, but we started getting closer to numbers. And so I'm just going to hold off on doing like Tuesday night streams and other regular video game stuff until we maybe hit that threshold. And the way things are going, I think we got a pretty good shot. So I'm not trying to push because I don't want to exhaust the community. I want people to just like come in and be here, like be here if they want to be here, you know? And if partner happens, it happens. But I'm going to give myself the best shot we can. So that's it on the partner push. EDK, welcome in. You tried the egg whites and chocolate syrup? Yeah. I mean, it tastes like a weak chocolate milk. And like, here's the thing about the egg whites and chocolate milk. Or the egg whites and chocolate syrup is like, if you are really, really having that much trouble getting protein into your diet, like, I don't know. Like you could get yourself some protein powder and it would be expensive. And it's probably gonna taste better than egg whites and chocolate syrup. I don't know. Nancy, hey, how was your lift today? I popped in for a moment. Work was really busy this morning. Popped in for a moment, and I can't remember if I said hello or not. But it's so good to see you. Thank you for the raid. Good strat and def support you when you do it. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. See, we just went through this big... I gotta get these out of here, y'all. This is too much. We went through, like, a bunch of different protein snacks and, like, which ones I'm digging on and which ones... I guess there are none here that I don't like, but... I can't just, like, sit here and stare at them for the rest of the lift. I have to get them out. So I think oh, you know what? Before I forget, Nancy, if you gotta go, you gotta raid and run. That's a-okay. Thank you so much for bringing your community over. Raiders, if you gotta take off, that's great. Either way, take a rest if you need to. Grab some water. Grab a stretch. Do what you gotta do to feel healthy and well. But word, yeah. I just want to make sure you don't feel trapped by the social convention of raiding. I don't know. Maybe it's arrogant of me to even think that someone would feel that way, but like, I just want to make sure you know. Like, if you gotta go, I get it. I support you. Streaming's a lot of work. Had a shitty day, bad planning, and I was way off on protein. Far more protein per calories than protein powder, so I just tried it. Yeah, I guess if it is just entirely protein, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I ever really like totally miss on protein during the day, it is the Greek yogurt and protein powder protein mousse that'll get me there. Because that ends up not being a ton of calories either. He eated them all off camera. I just hoovered them all into my mouth hole. I don't remember what I planned for after this. Oh, low cable rows. Yes. Okay, so we don't... Well, we do need to take everything apart, and we will. Oh. Everything. Anna, thank you for the 40 biddies. Is that difficult to make it not lumpy? It is not. No. So I use fat-free plain Greek yogurt, which I keep on hand. I always get plain because I also like to use it for, like, as a stand-in for sour cream for Tex-Mex stuff. It doesn't work as well as a stand-in for cream for like curries because it'll clump a little bit. But if you're just mixing protein powder and Greek yogurt, you gotta spend a little time stirring it for sure. It doesn't take like 10 minutes or anything like that. Not like freaking banana ice cream, which I love banana ice cream, but I'll be damned if that is not one of the more time-consuming food processor bits that I regularly make. Oh. It will not be a part of my routine, but protein powder isn't right now either. Word. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, the vanilla ice cream protein powder with plain Greek yogurt has been a hack for me. So good. Yes. Joe loves banana ice cream. I love banana ice cream, banana pudding, banana cream pie. Keep whatever thoughts you just had to yourself. Thank you very much. Oh, banana stuff is so good. But if you've never made banana ice cream, you can do it with a Ninja Creamy if you want to buy one. But if you just already have like a food processor, or if you have like a good blender, you can make banana ice cream hella easy. You just take frozen bananas, and if you want to cut them up and then freeze them, you can do that. When we freeze bananas, we just break them up into like thirds. You just throw the banana in there, and you run that processor. Oh. And if you're patient with it, give it enough time, it turns into this like ultra creamy, low calorie, sweet carb and potassium bomb. So if you're ever like really behind on your carbs during the day, or if you're doing a long run in the morning, and you're doing a run in the morning, not even a long run, and you want to get your carb inputs in late at night, banana ice cream, baby. Banana bread, I'm down for. Banana runts, not so much. In fact, I would say that that's the one thing I would decline. And that's largely for texture reasons. I wasn't going to say anything. No, you weren't. Wait, do y'all like runts? Hold on. Are runts things that people like? That's a candy for anyone listening who is not familiar. RUNTS, runts. Gosh, that is one that I have not thought about in a while. The tooth breaking horror. It's one of those Wonka candies. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna move the bench. Make a little more room for the camera. We're gonna do some low cable rows. I realized that I didn't put any single arm row work into this day, and I think I will adjust that for next week. Maybe I'll switch these to singles. I don't know, man. The fake fruit candy, yes. Yeah, they're really runts are weird. I will openly say that is a strange candy. Ugh. Ah, good. Good. That's good for first set. 15. Yeah, they're kind of like nerds, but they're shaped up. But my wife is similar, Josh. Like she doesn't like candy. She likes chocolate, but doesn't like candy. And if you ask her if she wants candy, she'll be like, no. And then if you don't bring her chocolate, it's like, this is what happened the weekend of the competition. I had to go buy Reese's peanut butter cups for backstage. I said, I have to buy candy. This was a text message conversation. I have to buy candy for the show. Do you want anything? And she was like, no. And so when I came home with Reese's peanut butter cups, it's like you said candy, you didn't say chocolate. Like, what do you mean you're buying chocolate and you didn't bring me chocolate? She was not that mean about it, but like the same idea was there, right? No. All right, I'll be more specific. That's fine. Like, you're valid, and damn it. Yeah, I got a big sweet tooth. I really do. Sorry, I want to drop one more. Can I drop one more protein nutrition hack that I'm very fond of? I'm gonna go get it. I'm not asking permission on this one. I'm not waiting for permission. Natty, if you're still there, this one might be one for you to consider if you're interested. I gotta find yeah. Gotta find the right box, you know? Is it? Yeah. Yeah, found it. And I will say, this is definitely like a holdover from when I was a little on the when Mama Runnings and I were struggling a little harder. Toasty time. I just get so hot and bothered talking about this stuff. These sugar-free Jello mix. Hear me out. Sugar-free Jello mix with skim milk or Fairlife skim, plus a scoop of vanilla protein powder. And you will have a very macro-friendly, high-volume dish. It matters what you put in the pudding mix, for sure. If you just throw in whole milk, you can add it to Greek yogurt too. Yeah. Jello zero sugar mix. Super good. And then you go and get yourself some low calorie whipped topping in a can. and you use some of that, you got yourself a nice little treat. And you can prep that shit up and you can leave it in the fridge for like 5 days. Take it out a cup at a time. Can I use almond milk? Probably. I've not tried it, but you probably could. Yeah, throw some fruit on there. Absolutely. If you're doing banana flavor, add some bananas. Wow. Like, really, though. It's really good. Welcome in, Sushi. How are you doing? I needed to finish talking about pudding, otherwise I was going to explode. If I didn't finish my train of thought about sugar-free Jell-O. Welcome to the product placement stream. I am not being paid by any of these companies. I think I actually need to say that. Ah. Yeah. Hashtag not spawn. Woo. Miss Dr. Mike. I heard about that. I heard about that, Sushi. I heard one of them talking about it on their podcast. I'm not gonna say which one. But apparently the Renaissance Dr. Mike was very excited about it. He was stoked. Stuffed his chips. Ah. All right. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna throw on another 10 pounds. Because we're feeling good. Those are definitely difficult. But I don't want to be doing 15 reps every time. At this point, it's a little more about effort. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, Natty, hit me up if you want to talk about that more. Because snacks are important, you know? And a little bit, like if you're already doing overnight oats occasionally, like you could do some other snacks that you could prep in advance. You can make some good progress there. How's the marathon training going? You know what? It's going okay. It's going okay. I actually haven't even looked at my training plan for this week in terms of running. I knew that I was ending the week with a 7-mile run, and that was done. But I did change it up a little bit. Yeah, I actually didn't change my weekly mileage last week. No wonder it felt so easy. Yeah. So we're gonna adjust that this week. Let's see what we can do. Because I think if I do 5 on Tuesday, 5 on Thursday, and 8 on Sunday, I'll be able to go up. Should be able to go up without too much problem. There we go. We'll see you soon, Dan. No. So, Natty, what I was saying is, like, if you're already making overnight oats for breakfast, like if you're doing that kind of meal prep for breakfast, like why not do it for snacks? Like, it's not saying that you have to, because I know you're eating them for breakfast. Do you program yourself then? I do all my own programming. Now I do all my own programming. I was working with Sweet Lou. He was helping me on lifts. And we were starting to collaborate, but there are other people that need his help far more than I need it right now. So I'm not really putting too much pressure on Lou to hit me up. Anna, have a good day. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. Everyone go check out Anna. Anna's been playing some Elden Ring. Friendo of the stream for a while now. If you're not following Anna, heck are you doing? Man. Oh, and Elden Ring is mean to everybody. Elden Ring is, well, you know what? That's not true. There are some people who have, quote unquote, gotten good that Elden Ring is no longer as mean to. But one could say that it's just like shoe on the other foot, you know? There we go. Oh! What is that? I just had like an ab cramp. That's happened before. Just didn't think it would happen on this one. That was weird. Yeah, I had to step away from Elden Ring. I stopped having fun. And when you stop having fun, that means maybe you should consider playing a different video game for a while. Moving into a little cardio queen. Find writing a plan for it so much harder than writing a strongman one. Josh, I mean, that's like, it's so real that it is difficult, especially if you're early on in running programming. Like if you've got an aerobic base built up and you've already done like a little bit of running, it's not too far-fetched to just like build a running program, like running and lifting program that gives you a little bit of progression every week. Like that can end up being not too scary. But if you've been primarily doing lifting, or like you're much earlier in the running phases, that's where following like a couch to 5K can be pretty valuable, because they're going to force you to do intervals at the beginning that are going to prevent you from getting injured. For the most part, they'll prevent you from getting injured. It's not like a guarantee, obviously, but they'll reduce your risk of injury, because most people just ramp up too quickly. I think I was talking with Chef Taylor about this very thing. She said it was okay to talk about on stream last time we talked. So she did a 10K and it felt really good, so she went out and did another 10K. Like, kind of hurts. Like, yeah, please don't run for a couple days. Please take it easy. But in general, you know, if you are just starting off with running, some good rules of thumb to follow. I think the idea, like the underlying idea, there's so much periphery on my playlist today. There we go. Good underlying things to think about are, don't just put two programs together, because ultimately, like any strength building program or like any resistance training program that is worth its salt is going to get you kind of close to this point of close to the point of like, if you do more than this, it's going to be like a little too much, right? Like you will increase your rate of injury by going over this by a lot. And so what some people do when they're trying to do the hybrid athlete thing, and this is what I did and how I got myself in trouble and got a little injury, right? Was just trying to like stack those two programs on top of each other. You really should note that you're going to have to, if you're going to try to mix any sort of endurance activity with lifting, especially like more intense lifting, you're going to have to cut something somewhere, right? So like if you normally do like a 3-day-a-week strength program, 4-day-a-week, 5 or 6 days a week for strength program, and you're trying to switch to like 5 days a week strength and 3 days a week running, like Like, you're not really cutting much out there. I don't know. It's a balance, right? And like you're speaking to it, Josh, that it's hard to wrap your head around the whole thing. And I think experimenting with different weeks and different splits throughout the week. So like last week, what I found out was, one, I wasn't totally recovered from the show, and two, I had gone just a little bit too hard. So I was experiencing some like very mild overtraining symptoms throughout the week, knowing that I had gone just a little too hard. And this week, like, I'm going to see how I feel over the next couple of days, because by the end of the week, by the time I hit Friday and Saturday, I felt really good. But Sunday through Thursday was just like, I don't know, I just felt sore and tired the entire time. So it's a dance, but like, feel free to DM me if you want to run stuff by me. I'm in the space where I'm charging for direct coaching, but like, if you are interested in just like, if you put something together and you just want some feedback on it, or you want to ask some general questions, like, hit me up in Discord. I'm happy to talk about it. Upright rows. Well, the other best piece of advice that I got as a hybrid athlete was do 2-a-days with running and keep your effort shorter and lower intensity. Because when I was trying to get my mileage up, I had a buddy who told me to stop doing 8-mile runs in the morning and start doing a 4-mile run in the morning and a 4-mile run in the evening. I switched to that, and the change, it felt so much better. It was amazing. Upper lower, 3 runs, bikes a week. Yeah. I mean, Josh, do you have dedicated rest days right now? Is that worked in? Ooh. Because the other mistake that I made early on was not having one rest day. Like, I would much rather have someone... These strings are so long. I would much rather have someone work in a couple of 2-a-days and then have 1 to 2 committed days of active rest than consistently try to like have runs on rest days. Because especially if you're earlier on in your training, like, running won't be restful no matter how slow you do it. How many miles a week are you doing now? I just got up to 15 this past week. And this week is gonna be, I was just looking. This week, if I do it as planned, will be 18. And then the following week, it looks like we're looking at doing a 2-a-day on Monday. But slowly ramping up. 1 on a Sunday at the moment, which is overdoing it really. Friday, me and my friend do a full body. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you can make sure that you have 1 day where you're resting and just walking, you know, being careful about doing too much like other work and activity that is not, that will be like kind of taxing on your joints. It's like, I used to be like, oh, I'm going to take a rest day. And then I would go like into the garden and be bent over and just like pulling on weeds and like pulling out stumps and doing all this like heavy garden work and yard work. And I was not recovering during those times, and I did get overuse injuries. You do 2-a-days on your regular run days, yeah. So near the peaks of marathon training, instead of having like an 8-mile day in the middle of the week, I'll do like Tuesdays are my example that it normally would happen on, and then eventually it expands to Thursdays. So like this slowly builds up over time. Thank you for the follow. But it'll start off as like right now, it's Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, right? Easy run, long run. Eventually that'll go to like 5, you know, it's 4 miles, 6 miles or whatever. And then eventually that'll go up to like 5 miles and 5 miles or 6 miles and 4 miles. And then at a certain point during training, I will start doing early mornings with like 4 to 5 miles. And then I will like go through the workday. And then after the workday, I'll run another 4 to 5 miles. Now, obviously, like that doesn't work for everyone, you know, like if you got kids or like your schedule doesn't support something like that. But if you can like compress your schedule in certain ways and be like, okay, Tuesday is going to be that day where I need to get 2 workouts in. I need to find a way to make that work. It can just be less stressful on your joints. It could be less stressful on your central nervous system. Because ultimately, when you are doing a run that is longer than an hour, especially if you're not doing like intra-workout carbohydrate loading, so like if you're not taking goos or gels or anything like that, or drinking sugar water, salt water like some people do, if you're not doing that stuff on a midweek run and you're doing like 8 or 9 miles to try to squeeze mileage in, like you are putting your body at risk of injury, essentially. And it's really hard to carb load as much and recover on a work day as it is on like a day off. So that may not work for everyone, but splitting those efforts into 2 helped a lot for me. Ah, 13. Whew. And one more set of those. Stretch it out. Do that. Do a little we can do a little couch stretch. Welcome in, Zach. But yeah, I'm happy to talk more about running programming stuff. I have made mistakes with programming, running, and lifting. I have had some like very good experiences. And I will say consistently that the best races that I've had, the best training experiences that I've had have been the ones where I've been committed to doing less and like being more ready for the actual event. Like this feels like a this feels like a segment from Dr. K, but I remember the day that I got better at roguelikes, like things like Hades and things like Hades, like Enter the Gungeon. Like I'm obviously not a 100% hit rate on that stuff, but the day that they really clicked for me was the day that I realized that like focus on the goal, right? Is my goal of marathon training to work as hard as I can through every single week of training, or is my goal to prepare for a race and show up as like the best, most trained version of myself for that race? Like which one of those things matters more? Like, sure, if I do the first thing right, then the second thing could come along. If you're playing Hades and you're constantly thinking about like, how am I going to make it as easy as possible to clear a room, but you're not thinking about what do I need to beat the boss at the end of this round, then you're going to get to the boss and you're not going to be ready. So if you are thinking with the end in mind, then you're going to be set up more for success, in my opinion. Thanks for the stretch. That also helps you make decisions about like, not pushing super hard on certain days when you don't need to, like not taking a risk on something that like ultimately, like if you gas it out and you do like one hard workout in a week, I think that's great. Your body's feeling good, go ahead and do a hard workout every week. But if you are constantly getting out there, like you're constantly getting in the gym, or every time you are trying to work out, you are trying as hard as you possibly can, you're going to burn out. Guaranteed. That's why CrossFit is so hit or miss. In my experience, talking to people who do CrossFit, like you got some CrossFitters that really stick with it, that really love it, they live it, they keep going with it. but I've talked to a lot of people who went into CrossFit when it was hot, really enjoyed it for a while, and then the moment it left their lives, or like the moment they got injured and fell out of it, it's like they tried to do other types of exercise, and because it wasn't at the same intensity, they didn't feel like they were doing anything, and so they just didn't do anything. And then they weren't moving at all, or like their step counts didn't work. It broke. Welcome back. Welcome in, Chimera. Welcome back, Gaston. Everybody, please refresh. Please refresh. Thank you. Or you can, if you're on mobile, you can do this on browser too. If you double tap my name, that works. Welcome in, Raven. All right, that's good for upright rows. Just check my phone real quick to make sure I'm not pissing anybody off right now. Not pissing anybody off right now. Waiting on me for some stuff. Hammer curls. Get to do some arms, baby. Let's get these veins going. What's all that about? I don't know, it's just peeking out. Okay. Happy Moon Day. Is it Moon Day? Another Moon Day already? What are we doing? This week is going so fast. Yeah, I'm not a live for the weekend kind of guy, but I only have to work for 3 days this week, and I am very excited at the prospect of having 4 days off. Yeehaw. What you got going on today, Raven? What's good? Been talking a little bit about running programming. We talked about some protein snacks today. And I've been helping wifey a little bit with her nutrition stuff, which has meant for me, I'm just gonna say it. She's gotten into doing some tracking just because she's curious about her intake, and I'm really proud of her. She's kind of enjoying the game of it, you know? Decided one day that I'm not into Monday. Make it likable and call it Moon Day because I love the moon. Oh, all right. I dig that. So Garfield has unbridled rage for Mondays. And your approach is a rebrand, which I respect deeply. There we go. It wasn't dangling correctly. All right. We're going to try doing 35-pound hammer curls today. Putting the reps down a little bit. If we get to the point where we're feeling like we need to up them, cut the weight down, then we will. No failure today is the goal. I've been doing all my arm work to failure recently, and I'm starting to really feel the squeeze. Not had a day off in 18 days. Josh, what kind of work do you do? If you don't mind my asking. Speaking of running, the tips you gave really helped. Ooh, that fills me with joy. I'm glad I could help. Was there anything in particular that stuck with you? Seeing a big improvement in my breathing capacity, though I feel like a Pokemon using Sprint Burst, like it's quick attack. Oh, so you're doing a little bit more of the the zone 2 work. Because that's been a turning point for me too. More zone 2. It's like not even just from the whole longevity standpoint. It's like actually getting more aerobic capacity out of all of my workouts has been great. So we're going to do 3 sets of curls. We'll do some abs. Get some abs going. Work at a gym, not mega active, but the lack of routine these last 3 weeks has ruined my sleep. Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. Man. I mean, are you getting any time off soon? Or is this just like you're going to be in the pit for another 12 days or something? Nice and controlled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Not failure. 1 to 2 reps in reserve. Perfect. No, and you shouldn't run on leg days. You definitely should not run on leg days. You should be resting. Leg days are like the one thing. It's leg days, and like I'm breaking my own rule on this, but leg days and longer run days are the ones where you should be just like, if you can help it for like an hour, just like throw your feet up. Just like sit down or lay down and just like hang out for a little bit, you know? Not for the whole day, but don't go out and like walk 10 miles after you do a leg day. It's just gonna be a lot. It's just gonna be a lot. Ooh, excuse me. Wow, that was gross. I'm sorry. 3 days after today. Nice. And nice. Had to take a 4-hour rest after that. I'm trying to figure out how to handle some of my recovery stuff right now. 'Cause I really want to nap. And I've been able to get in 1 nap per week the last few weeks, but I think I'm running out of the capacity to do that. Who's gonna carry the boats though? Gonzatron, you know what? Someone who is actually a Navy SEAL can carry the boats. I'm trying to like not get injured and get yoked. That's my goal. I was deflated on the couch. Were you like one of those old like Dare ads? Also, Gonzo, welcome in. Those old Dare ads where it's like talking to the person. Excuse me. Talking to the person who smoked a weed. They're just fully flat. Indica means into couch. First time I heard that, I thought it was the funniest shit ever. Why does this feel off kilter? Ah. Yeah. I just think principle of specificity is important, you know? Because I enjoy the burnable workout. Definitely learn not to do running on leg day. Well, yeah. It's just like your legs got nothing left. It's like if you think about what your legs use when you are doing, like if you separate them by some amount of time, it's not as bad. If you give yourself a little time to refill your glycogen stores, but it's not ideal. Bye, Sire Lee. Have a good noms. Swapped out 1 cardio day to do running every other week. Sick. Yeah. Yeah. I really liked my prep schedule. If it weren't for the fact that like I really need to focus on running for a bit, I would go back to doing the lifting split that I was doing on contest prep because that was a lot of fun. 5 days of lifting? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You get 6 hours of sleep, then you take a 2-hour nap. Is it the same as the full 8 hours? I don't know the answer to that question, actually. I mean, I think ideally 8 hours, like 8 hours of straight sleep is going to be better. But if you get yourself to the point where like your schedule, this is complete conjecture, like big old like not a scientist tag right here. If you do that for a while and you find that your energy is good and your recovery is good, you could probably make it work. You could probably get acclimated to it and not feel drained. But if you miss that 2-hour nap, you're probably gonna have a really hard time on the days that you do. Because I remember there was some study that was going around a while ago of like they had people try doing the different sleep schedules of like that, like a 6-hour, 2-hour, or like 6 hours in a nap, or 4 hours and 2 naps, or no solid block of sleep and like multiple naps. And it's like you could get someone acclimated to doing some of those schedules, but the moment that they miss one of their naps, like one of their scheduled sleeping times, they just fell apart. And it was, I think, also posited that it would increase your all-cause mortality by like 40%. Like that was the math that someone did, was like, you can do this and you might be able to function, but chances are you will die. Like you will die. Hey, thank you, GMAC. Have a great workout. Enjoy your push day. So Gonzo, if you are asking me the direct question of like, do I recommend something like that? Absolutely not. I think that everyone, regardless of like your genetic, your genetics, right, should aim for at least 6 hours of sleep. 7 to 8 hours is ideal. There have been some studies that have shown that people who sleep more than 9 hours a night, I think it was like nine or more hours per night on the regular, that actually does have kind of an increase to mortality rates and like a correlation with other health markers that are not super great. But again, conjecture, and I may be misremembering. If you're someone who is very, very, very active, so like you're spending, 8 hours or more working out in a week, just to throw an arbitrary, hang on, I'm gonna focus. Yeah. Ah. I'm gonna give those biceps a little resty rest. Because I kicked them pretty hard last week and it hurt. Doc! What up, Doc? How we doing? Doc Fishig. Doc, how are you, my friend? It's so good to see you. Now we'll go check out Doc. Doc is a horror variety streamer. Super lovely, super welcoming. A voluptuous, deep radio voice. You average 6 a night? Man. Gaston, if you could up that sleep, that might help with your weight loss too. I mean, I don't like telling people like you should just sleep more, but you could probably sleep maybe 6 hours, but it still raises your risk. Yeah. No, I mean it's all there's always gonna be multiple factors, right? Like if you somehow find a way to work out with decent intensity for 5 days a week and sleep 8 hours a night, but then all of your calorie intake is like potato chips. It's just like I'm eating nothing but potato chips and ramen noodles, then like it does not matter how much sleep you're getting or how much you're working out, your body is going to suffer. That's a very like big blown out example, but you understand. Voluptuous implies they have a loud and bubbly voice. I guess I don't know what that word means. Even on weekends, 6 hours. I mean, is it just that you wake up? Like you can't sleep past a certain point? Someone who's been struggling while cutting, sleep has been so important for fat loss. It really is. I will 100% attribute, let me give a shout out for Beowulf. Beowulf was one of the big influences behind me doing my first show, and has helped me along the way to like talk through things and give me advice. And one of the things he said is like when you get to like the tail end of a cut, when you're like really low body fat, and any deficit could have the potential for getting rid of like actual muscle tissue. Less so when you're in the higher body fat range, but still very true. Some of the studies are showing it's like up to a 50% difference. of like, if you are losing a pound a week, for example, you know, that's if you are getting less than 6 hours of sleep, that's likely to be half a pound of muscle along with half a pound of fat tissue. Whereas like if you are getting closer to 8 hours of sleep, you're likely to see like maybe 10 to 20% muscle loss along with the rest of it being fat loss. So yeah. Doing well. 14,000 steps a day. Dude, Doc, that's wonderful. Congratulations. And Josh, that's exactly it. Is it messes with your hunger signals too. So it makes it harder to kind of stick to your diet stuff. And I very much experienced that during prep. And every time that I go on a cut of the days when I just don't sleep well for whatever factors, which used to be, one of my factors used to be eating dark chocolate before bedtime. Because dark chocolate does have a bit of caffeine in it. I used to eat too much dark chocolate before bed and couldn't sleep. And the next day when I'd wake up, I would just be ravenous the entire day. Yeah, so Gaston, I mean, it might be a genetic thing for you, right? You may just be genetically inclined to get a little less sleep, and like that's the case for some folks. If you can make yourself sleep a little more, you could try to go to bed earlier, or like, oh no, I don't know. If it's, you know what? Actually, let me back up. If what you got is working for you right now, keep doing it. If you're still making progress, keep doing it. If you hit another plateau, consider your sleep. That's what I'll say. So I'm sorry if I'm being preachy. I'm sorry if I'm being preachy. Richard, you got to tell me if I'm being preachy. Explain hybrid marathon training. Quabena, it is essentially training for a marathon while also trying to lift weights multiple times per week and get a little stronger, get a little larger. It is basically like trying to do any two activities that are not necessarily naturally supportive of each other. Know what I mean? Welcome in. Hello, Games and Gains. How you doing? Sleep is the only thing I can cut down to make everything fit. Well, yeah, especially, okay, like if you are managing like the kiddo situation, sleep is going to be one of those things that go. Like I hear parents talk about how hard it is to lose weight, and there are so many factors behind that. I wish I could sleep more. I wish you could sleep more too. I don't know, man. Just keep trying. Just keep trying to push your bedtime a little bit earlier, and you see what happens. Learn to time my caffeine intake over time so I can wake up and not be sluggish. Learn that in psych class. Yeah, I don't do caffeine after 12 or sometimes 1 p.m. But my goal is always no caffeine after 12. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna try to do a hang with a leg lift. This is always a little bit hard to hold this position. I would do like a full like hanging leg raise, but don't have that option. So let's try doing underhand this time. Oof. Got to throw down a shirt. I mean, yeah, Games and Gains. You got a lot going on, dude. It'd be very hard to keep up with all that. Bo. Are you talking about the hit video game Prey? All right, so we did some leg raises. Now we're going to do some weighted reverse crunches. Put this ball up on the feet. Keep the hips tucked. Oh. And we'll do Russian twists. Wanted to do something oblique adjacent, but I didn't plan very well, so we'll start with these. Ah! Ah! Yeesh. Whew. Do you have the shorter version of that rack? I do. I do. This is the Titan T2. It would fit in my basement downstairs if we were still down there, but we are no longer down there. So, sleep train both of my kids for that reason. Woof. If I want more sleep, streaming gaming goes out the window.
Like I know
I mean, I've
what a
found that to be
JPEG
true.
is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. If I look like I know what a JPEG is, I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Pokey butt. Welcome in, Raiders. How we doing? Hey, Quabina, I'm going to answer your question. But first, I got to welcome these Raiders in. Raiders, hi, my name is Joe. I go by Cool Runnings here on Twitch. He, him pronouns. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we lift weights. Tuesdays, Sundays, we play video games. All the time. We're an inclusive community all about getting moving in the ways that work for you. And enjoying rad stories together. Welcome in. Pookie, how was your ride? How was the ride today? So you do both in a way that's beneficial. Any reason outside of just not knowing why people would do one over the other? So, I mean, I think that's it, Quabina, is just like the idea of trying to do both and minimizing the impact of one on the other. So doing enough running that you're getting better at running, doing enough lifting that you're getting better at lifting, but not doing so much of either, and like getting enough rest and getting enough recovery in doing both that you are able to continue doing both is kind of the idea. But some people just try to like stack them on top of each other, and it ends up getting injuries going along with other things. Having a tough start to the week. Too much weekend recovery. Oh no. Wait, did you have a little bit of bevies? You get a little bevies on this weekend? Byron, if you're still here, my way to work and subway guy next to me makes me worry about my workout plan because my coach has said my progress is slow. What is slow about it, Byron? Is it that you're not getting larger, or is it that you're not losing weight? If those are your goals, that's obviously like pretty presumptuous of me, but I will gladly share my thoughts. Run one day, take a break, and then lift is what I'm understanding. So you could do it that way. So there are a couple of approaches to hybrid training. One is doing that, like 2-a-days, where you run in the mornings and then you lift in the evenings. You do that with enough time, with enough rest days, so that you can actually get appropriate rest and you don't just like completely overload your body and your joints. Or you could have certain days where you run, certain days where you lift, certain days where you do both. Like, there's a lot of different training approaches and programs that help you do both things. But yeah, I mean, like you can definitely do 2-a-days, and I have. After this week, Mondays are going to be a 2-a-day week for me, where I'll be doing lifting in the middle of the day, this stuff right here, and then in the evening I'll go out and I'll run like somewhere between 3 and 5 miles. But yeah, thank you, Pookie. No, we are in marathon training, but we may be changing our plan for what race we were going to sign up for. So I already signed up for a race, and I think I'm not going to end up doing that marathon because it would be too. I just didn't give myself enough time to prepare. Whenever they try to add more weight, I'll become mentally prepared, not confident about the weight, and too easily give up in the middle of sets. Well. So it sounds like that's something that is kind of mental emotional, right? That's something that you got to overcome. Now, if you're working with a trainer and you trust your trainer that they've given you the appropriate amount of weight, or that they're asking you to do the appropriate amount of stuff. Learning to like focus and push through on a set is a skill. But if it's like, if it's that you're losing focus or that you're losing confidence in a set, like that's a mental barrier that you can overcome. If you're just not strong enough yet, that's something that's different, right? So, you know, your progress is going to be your progress. It's going to come as it comes. And some workouts are meant to push through. Some workouts are meant to stop when it's time to stop. And like, without knowing what your trainer is doing outside of this situation, it's really hard for me to say too much about it. But like, don't look at, sorry, I will pause. Don't look at other people and their physique and be like, I'm not doing enough, or like I should be there now, when ultimately we could, I'll say this 100 times, we could all do the same things. We could all lift the same amount of weights for the same sets, same volume, same everything, and eat the same foods. And like, say like, even if you were starting at the same baseline as someone else, you could follow the exact same routine as someone else and eat the same things, and you would still have different physiques. Just because of the way that it's always going to be a little bit genetic how people progress in weight training. It's like, man, it's so frustrating sometimes, but you gotta just keep going. You gotta just stay consistent. Because consistency, in some ways, does kind of beat intensity. It do. You got it, Byron. Keep going. Keep showing up. And if you're committed to doing better than you did last week, keep that in your mind, right? If the thing that motivates you is looking at someone else's progress, that's okay. But make sure you're also motivated by meeting the commitment to yourself to do the thing that you said you were going to do, the thing you signed up for. That's why whenever someone's like, I'm thinking about doing a 5K or a 10K, I'm like, good, sign up. Sign up. If you're thinking about it, sign up. If you're considering it, sign up. Because once it's there, you can prepare for it. You keep waiting. If you keep waiting, you're not going to train for a 5K that you're not going to do. Thank you, Pookie. Coaches keep asking me if I want to try boxing. Boxing's fun. Do it. 100%. So thankful for pre-workouts, powdered motivation. I do love me a little bit of pre. I've been enjoying I'm going to share this song in chat. For Jumpy Chow. Welcome in, Chow. Good cop, bad cop. One is married. Considerate about my feelings. Other is very harsh on me. Oh yeah. It's kind of strange that you have, I mean, it's a different setup to have two coaches like that, but if it works for you, it works. Sign up for my 10 mile. Every email, it gets more real and real. Yeah. Yeah. And there is, if you're someone who even like remotely is interested in running, just sign up for a 5K. Even if it's just like a park run, you know, like a free one where you get a timed score, or you get a chip timer just for doing it. Because like, man, there's a few things that are more motivating in my opinion. There are a few things that are more motivating than showing up at a starting line and being there and being nervous and just being surrounded by all of these people who at various rates have prepared to do what they're doing, right? Like everyone for the most part is going to have some amount of anxiety over making the decision to sign up for a race. Or everyone has probably struggled to get out the door for a run at some point. Or like just getting there on the day of was probably like stressful enough for some people. And when you're there and you're about to do the thing, and you're just like you're surrounded by all these people who are just you're ready, right? And even if you're not ready, you're gonna do the thing. Like I don't know, I get so hyped talking about it, and every time I sign up for a race and get to that starting line, it's such a good feel. It's such a good feel. Hard luck, what we say, Tab. Thank you, Dubs. Appreciate you. Love my local park run. Great atmosphere. Yeah, like we have one around here. I've gone twice now. And one time was to plug another event, but yeah, got a timed 5K. Everyone was super nice, supportive. There are people who show up and do park runs every single Saturday and who have done so for years. Done 2 zombie mud run 5Ks. Not a runner, but I had an absolute blast. It's so much fun, right, Doc? Like, again, if it's not just the race itself, it's the people. It's the people. Seeing others who went through effort to show up like you. Motivating as heck. And like, sometimes you don't make it to the starting line, and that's okay. It's okay. It's not a failure for you as a person. Life happens. But it does mean you should sign up for something else and make the next one happen. You did spend all that time training, and then something happened that kept you from doing the race. That's not an injury. That means that you can't do it. Find a race that is like a week after or 2 weeks after. Like, don't let that motivation, that feeling fade away. Because ultimately, like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, you get the bib, you get the finisher medal, whatever that looks like, but it's the feeling of knowing that you did it, that you can carry that for the rest of your life. It's so good. Hey everyone, I need to get some food. I'm so hungry. And we got our workout in today. It wasn't super intense, but we did get it in. We did indeed get it in. So, we're going to raid Metal Megs. Runs have a slightly different focus, but I'm thinking about doing normal 5Ks to have a way to measure progress between my main events. That'd be a good idea, Remad. Like, and honestly, the way that you do your events, those 5Ks are going to feel easy peasy. It's going to be like, oh, I get to run without all this stuff on. It's going to feel so good. Oh. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's go get going. Let's go see Megs. Let's go see OCB Queen Metal Megs together. I would really appreciate it if you consider joining me on this little raid. Please grab one of those raid messages. The first one if you're not a subscriber. The second one if you are a subscriber. We should update the raid message. Maybe we'll do that at some point. Doc, thank you so much. Yeah, let's talk about the rest of this week. I am going to be live on Wednesday for the standard lift. Going to be live on Friday for the Safe Body Fridays lift. If the whole like shirtless me thing is not making you feel super great, Fridays we keep the tarp on and we do the lift and we talk through everything just like we normally would. So if you're interested in that, come around Friday. Other than that, I don't think we have a Sunday event happening this time around, but oh, real quick before I forget, thank you everyone so much for yesterday. If you stopped by for our fundraiser, we raised $570 for Trans Lifeline. Thank you to everyone who donated, who hung out, who raided in. It was such a good time. We got to play some Red Dead Redemption, had some good times with crowd control, and we did some really, really good stuff for folks yesterday. So thank you. And now I'm gonna shut my trap. So everyone, be kind to yourself. Be kind to someone else. Do a little something that fills your tank this week. I will see you in the next one. Hit me up with questions, get in the Discord, all that good stuff. Bye-bye.